folks, and welcome to another reading vlog. Hope you are doing well. I am attempting this for the second time, and I will, instead of chatting with you the whole week, I figured I would record and check in while I read two books this weekend. The first being Under a Red Moon by Nikita, and the other one is still pending decision. It likely will be another BIPOC author. I'm just not sure if it's going to be a thriller, a mystery, or a different genre. So how are you all doing? How is everyone's fall reading coming along? I, for one, have been reading a lot, and only because I will not be able to read much in the month of October. So I'm trying to read a lot now because October is a very busy month, and I'm out of town for some days as well. And just a lot of social obligations with Halloween and whatnot. So trying to read as much as I can right now in my Halloween gear as well. This is a sweatshirt that I made. It says, "Look on the right side," and it's got a little ghost. It's very cute. I have it on my Etsy shop if anyone is curious. And I have another one. It's a little pumpkin one, and it says, give him something to, it says, "Give him pumpkin to talk about." I thought it was very punny and very cute. But this is a cozy mystery that I am reading right now. And this is part 2 to the Bangalore Detectives Club by the same author. I actually really liked Bangalore Detectives Club. If you know me, if you've been here for some time, you know one of my favorite genres is historical fiction. And this is a historical fiction and a cozy mystery all in one. And it has my favorite trope, which is the unlikely female sleuth, like the unlikely, unassuming female sleuth. I have a soft spot for women solving murders anyway, but especially those who are underestimated. I love those. So Under a Red Moon is basically about our protagonist, Kaveri Murthy. She is a 19-year-old new bride. So this is set in 1920s India in Bangalore. So about 100 years ago, different time, different rules, different norms. She's 19, she couldn't finish her education, and she was married into a wealthy family, and her husband is a doctor. She doesn't really want kids. She wants to learn math, and she's always poking her nose in things, she's very curious. So in the first one, she solves a murder, and then she ends up opening Bangalore Detectives Club. And this is the second version. This is the second part to it, where guess what? There's been a murder under a red moon, and she has to solve it. And I am hoping that we're going to definitely see a lot more dynamics in this one between Kaveri and her mother-in-law, who seems to be definitely like very, very old school. And obviously she's not a fan of what Kaveri is doing. So I wonder if we're gonna get more of like family dynamics in this one. But what I really like about this series in particular, that's so nice and short and sweet and to the point. Less than 300 pages, which is the perfect length in my opinion for a thriller or for a cozy mystery. And I just love the cover too. I know you're not supposed to judge a book by its cover, but I think a lot of us call to or feel repelled by books depending on their cover. So let's be real and appreciate this beautiful, beautiful cover. And this is an author that I haven't heard of before, and it's so cool. Like, I am so fascinated by authors who have other day jobs. Like, being an author is not their full-time job. Like this author, Nikita, she's a professor of sustainability in Bangalore. That's pretty cool. She's received scholarly awards for her research and practice on issues of urban commons. Wow. And her research on sustainability. This woman is killing it. Wow. Oh, I didn't know that. Her first book, The Bangalore Detectives Club, was featured on the New York Times list of 100 notable books of 2022. That's great. I mean, that's believable. That was a fun mystery. So yeah, let's read a little bit of this. I have ever shown my bookmarks, but this is one bookmark I have. It says Game of Cones and it has a cow sitting on the Iron Throne. It's very cute. In Canada, there's a store called Cows. It's an Canadian ice cream store. And they sell a lot of cow-based merchandise and have a lot of parodies. So there is the Game of Cones. I have a Dairy Potter. Instead of Dunder Mifflin, there's Dunder Mouflin. So I just love a cute bookmark. Good morning. It's the weekend. I have read about 90 pages or so of Murder Under the Red Moon, and it's nice. I'm enjoying it. It's fast paced. If you think about it, I'm almost halfway through, and it's nice. It's definitely nice to see there's more of involvement from some of the other characters that I was talking about from the first book in the series. So it's nice. We're definitely get this one done this weekend. And then I'm also reading, the second book that I'm reading actually this weekend is Sometimes I Lie by Alice Feeney. Alice Feeney is so good at writing the classic psychological thriller. And this is one of her older books too, so I guess before the hype about Alice Feeney really set in. And it's been on my Kobo for such a long time, so I decided to pick it up. I am 43% through because I just read a lot of it last night, but it's basically about our main character who is in a coma, and she has no idea how she got there. She has consciousness, of course, but she is in a coma, so she can't communicate in any way to others in the outside world. But she's trying to piece the mystery of what happened and how she ended up in a coma. So you definitely get a multi-timeline, and even though it's only her perspective, you definitely do have a multi-timeline. So there's 3 timelines. Her presently in the coma, and then the week before, like leading up to the coma. And then you have snippets of like 10-year-old, 11-year-old her writing in her diary. So a bit of a time jump for sure, but they're demarcated nicely. But yeah, it's interesting so far. I'm not loving it as much as I probably liked The Therapist or some of the other thrillers I read. I am kind of now getting to a point where I need something else to happen in this, but we'll definitely try to finish this one as well. And then the book that I'm rereading is Angels and Demons by Dan Brown, and I'm just marking it, annotating it along the way because I will be referencing it next month, so I need to get re-familiarized with it. So it's an ambitious reading weekend. Let's read. Because it's set in 1921, I love how they have references to Sherlock Holmes and his stories, especially the locked room and Adventure of the Empty House. I think that's cute. I like it when books reference other books. It just makes it a lot more realistic. All right, so I finished Murder Under the Red Moon, and it was fun. It was fun. I actually really liked it. I know I've been referring to this as a cozy mystery, but now after having finished it, I would not necessarily classify this as a cozy mystery because there are some mature themes in here. So, you know, look up the trigger warnings on this before you go in. The Bangalore Detectives Club was definitely a lot more of a cozy mystery than this one. It was certainly darker, I would say. While having all the cozy elements, it was just darker than how typically cozy mysteries are, or at least the ones I have read, but nevertheless it was great. I gave it a 4 stars. I'll definitely be doing like a full review of it in my wrap up at the end of the month in October, but I had a good time, and I'm going to continue the series. When I read the first one, I believe I gave it 3 stars only, and it was good, but this was much better. A lot more character development, a lot more community kind of, you know, coming together, and I really appreciated that. I know I said I would pick another BIPOC author to read for this vlog. I don't think that's going to happen because I need to finish Angels and Demons. I am almost done. I only have a couple hundred pages left, but I do need to read this because I have a flight that I need to catch, and I need to be able to reference this book. I will be listening to the audiobook while going through the physical book and annotating it as I go. Let's do that for a bit and then come back. All right, it's a little bit later and I'm almost done Angels and Demons. It's just not going to be done for this vlog. So I will continue, but we almost got through 2 books, which I think is pretty good. I realized I forgot to hit record in the last clip. So I will insert a clip of me reading and annotating Angels and Demons, a clip from before, significantly earlier on, so I'll include that. But if you want to hear a wrap up of both of these books, definitely tune in at the end of the month, where we will be talking about all the books I read in October in a lot more detail. If you enjoyed this vlog, let me know your thoughts. And because I'm really quite new to this, let me know, what is it that you enjoy? Do you enjoy a lot of B-roll? Do you enjoy longer vlogs, shorter vlogs? What is it that you would like to see more of in a reading vlog, and what could you do without? So let me know. Okay, I am editing this and I realized that I did not give you an update on Sometimes I Lie, the Alice Feeney book. And to be honest, I'm a little over halfway through. I didn't get as much time to read that as I had hoped this weekend. So unfortunately, that one is just going to roll on to hopefully the next vlog, but you'll certainly be hearing about it at the end of the month. Thank you for joining me. I'm very happy with the books that I read in this vlog, and I will be back next week with another one.